And today we have a very magnificent guest who goes by the name Japhet. Karibu tena Japhet.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. I'm very humbled to be in your presence. Yeah, because your experience is very impeccable. And today we are going to talk about why we feel emotionally disconnected in the digital age.
It can create the environment where people can communicate. It can make people, when you validate emotion, people can see that, okay, this guy understands what I'm going through. So in any conversations, when you start, it is very key to...
What made you realize that emotional disconnection was a bigger issue in our generation than we care to admit?
I'm a police psychologist and a certified mediator, meaning I do help people to understand more about conflict, to understand about more about mental health, so that they can live a better.
Hello, wonderful humans. Welcome to Modern Day Campfire by your host, Martin Sambia, where we advocate for mental health through visual arts and talks. And today we have a very magnificent guest who goes by the name Japhet. Karibu tena Japhet.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. I'm very humbled to be in your presence. Yeah, because your experience is very impeccable. And today we are going to talk about why we feel emotionally disconnected in the digital age. So before we start, what will you promise our guests to gain by the end of this conversation?
Thank you. Welcome, our guests. I want to promise you at the end of the episode, you'll be able to understand what are the emotions, how can you regulate your emotions, and the importance of knowing yourself and knowing how to deal with emotions. And even it's all about even understanding how to deal with other people with emotions, so that you can live a better world, which now we are talking about digital era. Thank you so much. Welcome.
Yeah, thank you for that. Yeah, I hope we are going to promise that by the end of this conversation you're gonna get that. But before we dive deep, Japhet, who is Japhet, and how, like, I would just appreciate if you share with us your experience from where you feel comfortable. It can be from childhood to the Japhet we have in Modern Day Campfire today.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Japhet was born in Kisii County in Kenya. And in Kisii County, I was born in a family of where my dad died a long time, so I was being brought up by a single mother. And having been said that, also I can be able to maybe to tell you the school I attended. I attended a primary school called Nyangoroni Primary School, where I studied as from nursery school up to class 8, and then after I did my KCSE, I was able to join to secondary school. The secondary school which I joined to Mobamba High School. Mobamba High School is in Kiamukama town, still in Kisii County. So after that, after finishing my Form 4, I was able to come outside as I was waiting my results. I'm a guy who likes maybe not to just stay. I started working, doing business. I was just selling sugarcane, so that to get some coins. I also worked in a quarry area. Maybe we used to make stones which are being used for building, at least to get something that can enable me to help even my mom to buy food. After that, I was so interested I was so interested joining to National Youth Service, which after some time I was able to join. Sometimes back I joined to National Youth Service Greek College, which I trained paramilitary training, and I was very successfully graduated from there. And then thereafter, I was able to be posted for nation building at Tanarifa, the place called Bura. I worked there for some time, and then after that, I was able to. I was transferred to Nairobi National Youth Service, where I continued with my national building. After that, I was given a course to do, which is early childhood education, whereby I was being called to National Youth Service Naivasha Training Institute, where I did my high childhood education. I trained as a teacher, maybe to teach. It was about teaching children and making sure that they acquire knowledge. After that, I was able to graduate. I went home. When I went home, I started working. I didn't even start working as a teacher, because it was all about getting at least some coins which can make it. At least I was comparing about the salary and so I was employed. I got a job opportunity at a private firm, which is for security. It employed me in Naivasha. I worked for some time where I was being paid around 10,000. After that, I felt like the work was it was so tedious. Okay. Now that's the time I realized to go back to my profession of teaching. So I went to Krigolis town, whereby I was being again employed as a teacher. I worked for 1 year. Working as a teacher, I was so happy and so passionate teaching students, enjoying what I learned in the college. So after that, I think the salary was not enough. I was being paid around 4,500. And then I prayed God to give me to open it for my doors. After 1 year, I got a job opportunity whereby I was recruited as a police officer to join the service. So I joined the service. I trained at Embakasi Training College, where it was for administration police officer. I trained a bit. After some time, I was being posted to work outside. I've worked for some time up to around 2019. In 2019, there was some reforms in police whereby I was again got transferred to Kenya Police. So I started working as a Kenya Police. So I want to say that as I was working, I'm a guy who loves learning. My learning didn't stop when I got police. So I went back to the university. I enrolled doing counseling psychology. I did my counseling psychology. Also, in doing counseling psychology, it was accompanied by, I also got interested maybe to understand about law. So I did criminal justice management. Not only that, as I was proceeding with my diploma in counseling psychology, all along the way, I come to realize there was need to understand about conflict. So I joined another college, MT High College, where I studied about conflict management and mediation and arbitration. So I did my course. I graduated. After that, I applied in judiciary. So I was being taken I was being given opportunity to serve as a mediator in judiciary, so to help more people to understand about conflict. So all along this, I've done a lot of, I don't want to mention because the list is so long. I've gone to several schools, I've gone to several colleges, actually to make it, to spread the message and creating awareness on the students and even the public to understand about mental health. And actually, I can just say, also my personal life, I can't, it's all about, I can't only talk about my goals and my success only. I also talk about maybe what about in terms of relationships. Actually, in terms of relationship, as we talk, the topic that we have today is about emotions. I can remember in my life, it has not been a walk in the back. I also had a lot of challenges being raised in a family of a single mother also. We were trying to get to make things better. We were striving financially. I can remember very well there's a time even I used to, before free education, I used to go and do beba around in town, and then beba because I get paid to pay for my
in Nairobi or in
No, in Kilgoris town.
In Kilgoris now.
In Kilgoris town, yes, I used to beba misigo. I get some coins. I used to have a wheelbarrow, and I used to go to stage. Those people who have some luggages, I carry from point A to B. I get paid, and actually I was making money, and the money I made, I'm very proud. I used to pay my school fees. All along also, I can say in terms of relationship, I've been able to, like a man can be, man is not being made like no, you have to go a try road. There's many of my relationships which has been failed, have been disliked. There's other times maybe some people have rejected me. Maybe they rejected me because maybe I didn't have finance. Maybe it's preference. It depends by individual. It has not been successful. But also, I thank God that where I am today, I'm a different person, and I've been able to achieve, and I've been got somebody who at least who have profiled to me what serve is.
Before we get into today's topic, who is Japhet when the mic is off and the meetings are over?
Thank you, Japhet. I will start by saying that Japhet is a part of somebody, and is also the husband of somebody. also, I want to make it clear that you be aware that Japhet, when they make his off, is someone who has passion on helping people to understand themselves and also to know how to deal with their problems. And I also, apart from that, I also help people. I'm so passionate on helping people to understand how they can solve the conflicts. So as I say that with my career of life, I can just say I'm a psychologist, I'm a police psychologist and a certified mediator, meaning I do help people to understand more about conflict, to understand about more about mental health, so that they can live a better life.
Was there a defining moment or season in your life that made you passionate about emotional wellness and helping others?
Thank you. I think in my career, there was a time I can remember very well as a police officer. I remember when I was in the office, this was one of my colleagues who was very jovious, was doing the work normal, and then everybody around at workplace was very happy the way he was doing things. So it reaches up to one time that I wanted to start with this guy so that we have a conversation. Indeed, when we started to have a conversation, I come to realize this guy was going through a lot. So this come to it made me to have a different perspective on how I see human beings, because you can see the way you can see people outside, it's not how you can look at them, because emotional thing, it comes from inside, and once it comes from inside, it means you can be suffering inside, nobody can understand. So from there, it was a defining moment that I changed the way I see people. Even if I see people, they can't smile, they can be happy, obvious you can get there's people who are struggling emotionally, they can be having a burden of emotions that is making their life maybe to be a challenge. And also working as a psychologist and having met many clients in the workplace, I've also seen some people who have had an emotional breakdown simply because they are unable to continue with life. So this the defining moment that I've been with the cases that I've been able to solve. It has been from the first case I've talked about, having my colleague who was looking so happy, who was looking so obvious, but inside he was showing a lot. It gave me time to reflect and to see how I work with people and help people to understand about emotions.
Yeah, thank you. That is profound. And what's one life lesson you learned it the hard way, but now we wouldn't trade that lesson for anything?
All right, thank you. I think I can start this. I can answer that question by maybe with the quote which I love most. When I talk about emotions, there's a quote I like human beings are the creatures of emotions, but they are not creatures of logic. I mean that whenever I deal with human beings, I rather I rather validate their emotions before I take them to see to see them working with logic. To say it is, I mean, like human beings, as we have said, they're creatures of emotions. Sometimes human beings, they can be suffering from inside. They can be having tormenting situations which makes them not to feel okay. Sometimes if you treat people with logic, you want them to move from point A to point B without understanding them, it can be very difficult. So I want to say that from these lessons I've learned, I can mean to say that human beings, whenever I interact with human beings, I rather start by validating their emotions before I engage them logically. Because if I can do that, I think it can make even those ones who I'm helping to feel like they have somebody who care with them. Thank you.
Thank you, Japhet. You talk of validating emotions. Like, where is that rooting for?
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
When you talk about validating emotions, it is whereby maybe you have somebody, maybe your brother, your sister, who is going through a lot. Maybe once they have come, maybe it can be you are a boss, you have somebody who's working, they have come to seek maybe to seek advice from you, maybe they have done something maybe for you. It's something that makes you like you feel like they have violated the law. So that instead of looking how they are the first when you meet these people, before you start even the conversation, first of all, you need to understand them. Put yourself into their shoes. Whenever, whatever they tell them, just tell them you understand what they are doing. Because, once you have empathy, yeah, I talk about the empathy. When you have empathy, you understand other people. When you validate somebody's emotions, people, they can be able to work with you. People can be able to open up. People can feel like they can feel that you understand them. This is what I mean. I mean, like, by validating, validation also, it can make, if I can talk about the advantages of validation, this one also, it can make the relationships to be easy. It can create the environment where people can communicate. It can make people, when you validate emotion, people can see that, okay, this guy understands what I'm going through. So in any conversations, when you start, it is very key to see that you are validating. You can tell somebody, I know what you are going through. Instead of looking to the what they have made, instead of looking to the problem they have committed, first of all, understand, show that you care. I want to say that if it's supposed to is at workplace, they can start. If it is there's a guy, maybe they have issues in the family. He has been being absent all the time. So what you do, instead of, when you meet these people, they have come for office, maybe for you want them to punish them. First of all, just validate them. Just give them, create an environment whereby these people can be able to share. And when they share, you understand them. You understand better. Human beings, when you validate them, they feel better to share anything that can be uncomfortable to them. And then from there, I think you'll be able to solve a problem.
Thank you for that. That is a very, very profound introduction, and I feel like audience have already connected with you. And when I look at your journey, I see you are someone who was striving towards fulfillment and success. So at what point in life, or at what career, or at what point in life did you ever feel very successful and very fulfilled in all the journey, in all the career paths you've been?
All right, thank you. I think, my brother, there's something I want to say. Like, life is a journey,
True.
and you don't arrive.
Yeah.
That's why you see, I'm keeping on moving. I'm keeping on. The moment, for me, for my case, if I just see that I've arrived, or I can be satisfied with the life I have. I feel like that's going to be the hand of me. So I am a person who just feels like I have to keep on pushing. That's why after my school, I was able to join to the college. After the college, I got jobs. You see, I've worked in different fields. The reason why is like I feel like there's some of the I've not achieved.
Yeah.
I feel like even if I achieve, like I feel like I need more. And that's the true test of life.
True.
Actually, I like the question you asked. When did I feel like I think the moment I feel like okay, it was good for me, like I've achieved.
Okay.
I'm a guy who used to play like I'm a Christian. And being a Christian, always I pray for the best. And to be sincere with you, for my case, anything I need, I've never lacked. I've never lacked. I can even remember the time I feel like I've achieved is when I was after my school. After my school,
after your high school.
After my school, yes.
High school,
after my school, my family told me, okay, financially it was not it was not good. So we were just struggling to get finance. So like I was looking like, when will I go to college? What can I do? My prayer was like, if I can get some money that can enable me to go to college, I can go to college. So the time I went to the field for recruitment to the National Police Service, I didn't try twice. I didn't go for recruitment twice. I went once. And I remember one thing that I used to say is that there's a verse which I like so more from Matthew, like you can't pray God for bread and they give a stone. That's actually what I really asked. Like if I'm going to for this recruitment, I can remember even the time my mom told me, I know. You don't have somebody, you don't have connection. How can you? I told my mom, no, I'm going, let me just go there and then I'm going to succeed. And then I don't I'm honestly saying to you that I got that letter. So when I got it, I went to the NYS. After that NYS, I think coming out, I felt like I've got something better for me. But my dream was to advance in my studies. So after getting the certificate in hard child education, also I felt like I'm missing something. So I had to ask God, okay, this one, you see, I told you I was being paid 4,500, okay? This 4,000 per month. It was not able to enable me to have a family. So I used to say, oh God, I feel like that was my prayer. Like I feel like I want to work in police because that's the only opportunity I had. Because I felt like that was to whereby I can be employed by the government. I remember going to several, the year I didn't get it once. I went to, I tried in KDF, I was being rejected. I went to KWS, I was rejected. I went to police again the first time, it failed for me. It was 2014, you remember, it was countrywide, it was cancelled. I went there, like I ran there, even my legs were so hurting. I had some goods, but I didn't get. But finally, 2015, I got a letter.
Amen.
Embroidered to the National Police Service. I felt that I got it. So, like in my life, I've been, I don't get satisfied, but also whatever the small goals I achieve, I can feel better. Yeah, but I'm a guy who keeps on trying things, new things. I'm a guy who just feel like I don't arrive in my success. I don't arrive.
You don't arrive.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. The post is always
yeah.
Is always okay. Okay. That is well put, and thank you for that. Like I've gotten some things out of it, and like what I'm getting at it from the story, you're a person who pursue his desire. You're a person. What you are trying to say, you don't settle for less. The fact that you don't settle for less, you've never arrived, but it is a good thing. Today we are going to talk about emotional disconnection.
Yes.
What is emotional disconnection to you?
Thank you. Emotional disconnection is when we are human beings, and human beings, we are connected by emotions. We walk by emotions. We do things by emotions, and it is the emotions that can make you to make decisions, right? Actually, also, when we talk about emotional disconnection, it's all about when you are disconnected from something. Maybe you are supposed to do something better. You feel like to have somebody who's going to be to be there to support you. Maybe somebody who's going to be there to love you, so that you can have that positive feeling.
Okay.
But disconnection is whereby maybe it is not there. Whatever that is doing, it is not there. It can be even in terms of those human beings, we are made of emotions. Through our emotions, it is what keeps us going. It is the emotions that can make us to be uncomfortable. It is the emotion that can tell us that we are comfortable to be with someone. You feel like, okay, this is not the place I need to be. But emotional disconnection is whereby maybe you are not there, you are not in touch with the reality. Okay? Personally, from mentally and the physically, you can be physically present, but mentally you are not present. Emotionally, you are not there. Right? So, like now, when we talk about this digital era, it's whereby many people, we are in the long time, in the past, guys, people, our grandfathers, didn't have social media, didn't have the phones that we are having right now.
Okay.
Do you know how they were connected emotionally? They used to come together, they hear some stories, they were being told stories. They were so connected with emotionally you have to connect with other people. But right now you see in this era, it's whereby maybe you get the people there with the phone. You can be comfortable maybe doing this in your phone, scrolling and scrolling.
Or with the earpods there,
you are so disconnected from the reality, from the people. Not only that, look even to the people around, even the ladies. We come to the ladies. Right now they are so connected to the social media. Even they do the makeup, they do the dressing. They are so competing that was not there. They are so competing by other people. Like now, whatever they see on social media, they want to make it a reality. Look even to the movies they watch. They just whatever they want. They want that romantic movies they watch. They want to practice in the reality life. You get that this is not working. That's what I feel like we are emotionally disconnected. Look to the relationship right now. They are not working. People are not connected to each other. You can get that you are living with your wife in the same room, but as you are living, is with her phone is chatting with another person. They are not in touch with the reality. Look even into social media. People are being bullied, right? So emotionally, they are emotionally disturbed. They are emotionally disconnected. You get people they don't feel like they are okay. Emotional disconnection is when you feel like mentally you feel that you are not okay. But I mean, like, we are here always to make a difference. I mean, like, it is important people to know that in a world whereby people they are looking for the cheap dopamine. That they want to acquire things so easily so that they can feel happy. After all the things, it's all about feeling happy. It's all about when you have dopamine. Like we do say that in a world where there's dopamine ecosystem whereby people want to get those things so that they can feel happy in a short time. Is it really working? It's not working. What is really, according to the scientific, even psychological, what you do say that for somebody who is connected, for you to be connected in a better thing, with better things that you need to do, it's all about having people around who understand you, being in a better place, talking, making good connections with other people, achieving your goals, having a purpose. That's when you feel like now you are connected, because like you feel like now I'm doing something. You are moving. We human beings, we must have growth. We must have growth in terms of physical growth. We must have career growth. We can have even in terms of development. You have to have a growth. But when you feel like you are stunted, that is going to give you a problem emotionally. Yeah.
What made you realize that emotional disconnection was a bigger issue in our generation than we care to admit?
Okay, thank you very much. I think I can start by answering that question by looking even what is happening to this digital era. You know, in the digital era, it's whereby maybe people want to get dopamine very fast. They want to get the reward system in their brain very fast. They want to achieve things very fast. They want to have instant gratification. They want to have things now and now. This thing actually is making them maybe to make the decisions very wrongly. Actually, as a psychologist, what I can just say that the moment if you want to, the dopamine, that one you get it, you acquire it very easily. It has its own repercussions, of which you get that our brain does not work very well when it is used to get. They want to get quick things, quick achievement, so that dopamine, it makes the brain even to forget how to have long-term goals. That's why you see when you are reading the newspaper, you are hearing from the news that what's happening every day. You hear about people being killed. We hear about even the cases of gender-based violence, simply because the people, they don't want to look for long term. They don't want to get a long term thing. They don't want to take the hard thing. Actually, according to our brain, it works better when it is being used to. It is used to do hard things. It is used to make that dopamine that can be got after you have done something great, something that it takes time, something that has patience. If you look to this society we are living now, the digital era, you get most of the guys right now, they are not ready to acquire they acquire their dopamine in a long term. They don't want to take time. They don't want to get tired. This thing, it has made them maybe to make long decisions. Actually, that's why I feel like emotional disconnection in this generation, it is fading. That's why you see even people are not ready to work. Most people, they have engaged into drugs because they want to acquire that dopamine. Also, I want to say that if we want to change the generation, what I'm so passionate about is if people were to understand how emotional even our brain works, I think we were to create a better environment. We were to create a better generation. People, if you can understand how these emotions works, if you can understand, like it's not all about you need to have to, when you wake up in the morning, people are scrapping their phones. They want to see what is happening on TikTok. They want to see what's happening on social media. They don't want to do something. Actually, from that, it makes their brain not to work in how it's supposed to be. So I want to say that my passion is all about to change the generation. At least if we can have people to understand how we need to work emotionally, I think we can have even the good marriages. See the divorces which is happening. See the people what they are acquiring. People want to make things to be quick, which is not the real thing. People to understand how emotion works. If people to understand how they are disconnected, if they can know how to connect back, I think you can have a better place to be. And I feel like if this information can get many people, I think we can at least have achieved something.
That is well put. And if you weren't doing the work you do now, helping people with conflict, emotional growth, and relationships, what do you think you'd be doing?
All right, thank you so much. I think as you have asked that, if I was not to do what I'm doing right now, we live in a world where there's a lot of potential in our nation and even the world. There's a lot of things that I can do. Apart from that, if I was not to do this, I believe I believe that there's a lot of opportunities which I can do. First of all, I think, I can do business for my survival, right? Not only that, apart from that, there's to earn a living. I believe like that I have what it takes. And I believe like apart from making people to understand themselves, I can be able to even talk about entrepreneurship to the people so that they can live a better life. I mean, like, it is not all about what I can do. It's all about what I feel myself I can create. I feel like apart from the profession I have, I can do other things that to make myself to be better. I believe that I can create what I want. For me to be who I am, I have to do other things that serves my purpose. Actually, to me, that I mean, like, if you see many people right now, you see what they are doing. You get that people, they do anything. It's not like they need to do anything. You have to, if you are somebody who looking forward to making a better life, you can do anything so long as it serves your purpose. So as Japhet, if I was not to do what I'm doing right now, I can do something like now I can do business, I can be an entrepreneur, I can be a pastor, to change, to do something at least which can serve my purpose. That's what I mean. Yeah.
Thank you for that. And yeah, I'm just happy to know how open-minded you are, that not everyone has that. So that is a good thing. What keeps you hopeful in a world that sometimes feels emotionally cold or disconnected?
Thank you. I think in a world that is more emotionally disconnected, what keeps me hope is about my dreams. My dreams. If I dream of better tomorrow, I mean, like, the miles I make, they like now by achieving. I mean, like, by even doing the work I'm doing, like, it's not all about what people can do for me. It's all about what I can do to the world. Because if I can change myself, I can change even those people who are around me. Even if I can change myself, I can change those friends around me. They can learn with Japhet is a different person. Japhet has a different stuff. And from achieving my goals, from achieving to be different, I mean, I can make a difference to this world. I believe, like, if all these if myself I can be better, I mean, I can also make the world to be better by even making on a daily basis. If I can make one person to understand about emotional disconnection and they can think about how to disconnect, just make a calculation. If I can make 100 people in this world, how many people by the end of the year can make? So I believe the change is in me, and I believe if I can change, I can make the difference, and I can make those people who are under me to be better. And by those people making them better, they can also make the world to be better by making those people understand how emotion works. I believe even our relationships that is breaking away. I believe even those people who have made the wrong decisions of maybe making big crimes, if I can get them, we can sit together. I think the talk is going to help them maybe to start realizing what they are supposed to do.
Yeah, thank you for that. And talking about emotional disconnection, I know there is someone tumemwacha kwa. There are people who do confuse connection and attachment. I will just want you to take us through connection and attachment, like the difference, and maybe after expounding on that, then I'll have a follow-up question on that, like ndo wapate clear definition of what emotional disconnection is about.
Okay, thank you. When you talk about attachment now, attachment, it comes to relationships now. Are you attached to somebody? Okay? Attachment comes more like you are attached to something, like you are close to something. When you talk about connecting is all about the things that connects you to be who you are. To be a complete person. Right? For me to just say that I'm a complete person, obviously I need good people who are around me. I need I need to have a goal that is going to make me to keep on going. I need to have some things. I need to have even my environment, the people who are surrounded with, the decision I make. I have to make better decisions. I have also to do better in my life also. I need people who are supporting me. You need the support system now. That makes you who you are. It is now what you talk about. You are connected to something. And when you are disconnected, it's when you don't have the reality. You don't understand yourself. You don't make the goals. You don't achieve your goals. Like the things that you are doing, they are not adding up. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you for that. And also, I've noticed you're so heavy on delayed gratification. You believe like instant gratification is what is misleading us. So like in your personal life, as we are talking now, I know you don't take sugar. I know you do exercise, you practice physical exercise, body workouts. So like what else do you normally do that play a role in you? Because if I look at things like even doing exercise, this is something that you're not going to get result immediately. It takes time. It takes time. When we look at things like you observing what you eat, it's not going to give you an instant result. It takes time for you to build that healthy life. So what else are you into that is playing a role in delayed gratification, is playing a role in your life, and you can say it's in form of a delayed gratification?
All right, so, delayed gratification. What when you talk about the delayed gratification hereby, there's many things that can make you to have delayed gratification. The way our brain works, the more we do hard things, the more our brains will be able to understand to do hard things, and the more we are getting used to sort of instant gratification. We want to achieve it now and now. The more when your brain is going to be used
adapt to that,
it's not going to do hard things.
True.
Okay, that's why it's going to be so difficult. You're going to, when you talk about you're going to have emotional breakdown, not only emotional breakdown, you're going to have even hunger past. Because of that, you have that. But the more you get, you have the delayed gratification. How are you going to get the delayed gratification? Number one, it's all about you have to have patience. In whatever you do, you should have patience. If today, like for example, you can get that maybe you are in school, you are a student, your parents have told you like we feel like you maybe you want to do you start your project, maybe to do your business, you ask for them, maybe give me 20K. If you ask for them 20K, they tell you just wait. Okay? I still work on. So the moment that waiting, it's what you call it, it's going to make your mind to wait. Right? As you are waiting, obvious, you are going to get a better result. Not only that, also before I go to dig into deeper, I want to say that the way our brain works in a different way that people don't understand. When you talk about emotions is a topic that most people that has never been discussed. Have never been a discussion of the day. We talk about our brain. If we are used on this, if we give it like now, you can get people when they want to feel happy, they go to they buy Msinga, they buy whole core, they can buy the cannabis, apple, they just smoke, they just drink so that they feel happy. But the real thing is that they don't get that thing that the dopamine that they are going to get, they are going to get at that instant. So the more they are going to get it, they continue to get it, the brain is going, actually, according to the research and according to the studies that we have, the more you are going to be used with the instant gratification, your brain will forget to deal with the pain. And then when you're going to get to the pain now, what are you going to get? That's when now you're actually going to feel like the world, you won't have the alternative way of doing things. You end up maybe thinking of suicide. So when we have the delayed gratification is whereby maybe you do exercise. The more you do exercise, you feel the pain. The body is being used to wait. I am a guy who works in the morning. My first thing I do in the morning is about to do a morning run, 30 minutes, to do a lot of exercise, intense exercise, so that to build my body so that it can have delayed gratification. Come to the relationships. People, you cannot be able to deal with it. If you don't have delayed gratification, you can't wait. You can't solve a problem. You can't give your partner a way that they can even you can deal with conflict management. You would lack the conflict management. So having emotional regulations as a skill is going to make you even your relations be better. Even in leadership, delayed gratifications, it plays a critical role. Whereby maybe if you are a leader, you will learn how maybe to give yourself time to wait for the result to come, to make yourself life itself. We live in a world. Our life itself, it's a life that has to go to this You have to go step by step, until now you reach to destiny that you want. So another thing also that you can do to get delayed gratification is all about maybe by practicing reading the real books, not using the phones.
Okay.
The more you
the
read,
hard copy.
the hard copy, the more you open it, that page by page is going to give you to write. And the moment you are used to delayed gratification, the moment even your programming is going to be good. Look at when you wake up in the morning, you be a person of journals. The journal also is going to help you how to know how to have delayed
gratification.
Delayed gratification. Also having the long-term goals. When you wake up in the morning, maybe you have in the beginning of the year, maybe on a daily basis, you have short-term goals and long-term goals. And the long-term goals is going to make you to have delayed gratification.
Thank you. And when you started, you mentioned something like patience. And honestly, sometimes we do. I fall a victim on that. When you look like something like this modern day campfire, like it's something that need patience. But sometimes you can be patient in the wrong journey. Like there is a possibility maybe you are doing the wrong thing for the like how now do my question is are you able to differentiate that this is not the wrong thing, it's this one needs patience, now this one needs maybe redirection? How do you differentiate that?
All right, thank you so much. There's something I want to tell you that there's no in life we don't have the wrong direction.
Okay.
And if you wake up in the morning, you just get something that you're doing. You have not achieved what you want. You can't throw your dowry. It's going to be it's a lesson to your brand. Actually, what I'm trying to tell you is that if we want to have emotionally, if we want to feel like if we want to manage our emotions, we need to be the people who maybe by anything we do, we have to be positive people. We need to be optimistic. We need to look to the things to the positive. Actually, whatever that is making this generation to be having an emotional disconnection is whereby maybe feeling negativity, having negativity, they feel like they are lost. They feel like I'm lost. No, I told you, there comes a time I made the wrong decisions, right? There comes a time maybe you get a guy, you have been dating a guy maybe for 2 years. That lady you have been dating, he has been squandering your money, right? You don't need to hang yourself. You don't need to curse yourself. It is a lesson that you have learned. And that lesson is going to help you to make a better decision tomorrow. And always, it's contributing something. That's what comes into my mind. Whatever I got myself in, I'm in the wrong direction. I don't look back. I feel like, okay, then it's now like you're moving to Nairobi. From Thika to Nairobi. And then instead of when you're at the bypass, instead of going to Thika Road straight, you go to the bypass. Now you get yourself around like Embakasi. Nothing to do. Obvious. If you want to be connected, you have to always. It's a good lesson. Life, in anything you do, it's like a coin. It has two sides. It has the positive side, it has the negative side. I rather tell the people, if they want to be connected, to choose the positive side. The moment you choose the positive side, our mind, the way we are being created, you can't pour from an empty glass. Right? You only pour from a full glass. What I mean, like we need to train ourselves to be positive. No matter the circumstances, because circumstances doesn't define us. We can go into a difficult circumstances, but we can try to be positive in those circumstances, and we create what we want. In life, what I can tell you, it's not about where we are, it's not about what we have faced, it's all about, are we focused? Where do we want to go? We need to have a very big focus. We need to look at the ending. What are we getting? No matter the circumstances. Look, even I wish I do like reading the Bible. Okay. Yes. Look at the story of Moses. All right.
Yes.
Moses coming from Moses, the channel of Moses. Moses, they find them. There's a time they got them in the sea, right? They see they are supposed to cross the other side, but right now the food is water.
It was like a dead end.
It was like a dead end. Did they leave and then they just say that God now? No, they did. In there, the situations where you're going to find yourself, there is a solution. Problem, in where there's every problem, there must be a solution. And the problem came for us to create a solution. And if you can believe that, I tell you, emotionally, you're going to be connected.
You're going to be connected.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow, like I'm just reflecting my life. For some reason I felt like it was a dead end to some spaces.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is when I have to lean in and look for solutions.
Yeah.
There are solutions there.
Yes.
Thank you for that. Yeah. And there is something you've, like, in your delayed gratification journey, you've talked about books, journals, and long-term goals. So like for books, I'm just curious to now tell me, like, what type of books what is your current book or the latest book you read?
All right. I read for myself. I read about many books.
Right, okay.
Currently, the book I'm reading is about. I'm reading about Atomic Habits.
Atomic Habits.
Yes.
Yeah, I read the book too. I read the book.
So Atomic Habits actually, what we can learn about emotions. Actually, Atomic Habits. It's all about, it's anatomy is a small thing.
Yeah.
So from small steps in a daily basis, you need the small steps that you can make. At the end of the year, it's going to make big steps. So whatever you do, even if a small thing, it counts.
Mm-hmm.
That's why we do say that a channel of many miles, that's to start by one step. And then second step, that step. In whatever you do, actually, what I normally get from this digital era is that most people, they want to get things at a time. Like someone who was born today, will he start working on the same day? No, it can't happen. So it's a journey, and life itself does not have a lift. Life does not have a lift. You have to stay. You have to take the staircase. First stair, second stair, last stair, up to top. The moment you are going to take like if you are going to take the shortcut, then you are going to finish your life. And from that small steps, we learn, we get the experience. And the experience, it shapes our future. Mm-hmm. Okay?
Yeah.
That's why we do say, as we are talking to our generations, they need to understand that life is a process.
Mm-hmm.
And if it's a process, there's some of the things that you can't avoid. That's why you see when those people try. I like talking to our generation. If you have been seeing around the newspaper and reading the newspaper, what is happening. We have some of those guys who want to go shortcut, maybe to want to acquire the money very quickly. They don't like it. Mm-hmm. Maybe you get that they have gone against the law. Maybe you get that they've been caught. Maybe they get a lot of money. They start drinking. Maybe they get accident on the way. It's because they don't understand. But you can get someone who started from low. Okay? Mm-hmm. Started from low and then they build themselves. Mm-hmm. They build a legacy. They build that finance, that wealthy for generations to come. Mm-hmm. Right?
Yeah.
So life is, as we have said, life is a journey. And that journey, we don't arrive. And life is a process. So every day, steps, even if you make those small steps, it matters. You don't need to catch your day because you have not achieved the big goals. No, that's small steps. Look at yourself. Like at the end of the day, what have you achieved? Waking in the morning, even waking itself, it's an achievement. Making your bed, it's an achievement. Getting a cup of coffee, it's an achievement. Getting away, even dressing the way you have dressed, going out, being in the university, having a job you do, no matter the job you do, it's an achievement that can change your life. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You've talked about newspapers, and I just wanna read this part to my audience. Alafu, you'll just I feel like we should share this. Not everyone will go. Where was that segment that you wrote? I wanna, and then you'll take us through how you. Okay. Mm-hmm. Definitely. Okay. So Japhet also happened to be an author. Yeah, you'll tell us how he got there. So the story is, I am unlucky, or am I unlucky, or men simply, am I unlucky, or are men simply difficult? So his part, this is what he shared. Thank you for sharing your experience and your profound questions. The pain of repeated relationship endings, especially when they feel unexpected, is deeply valid and understandably leads to questions about luck or the nature of modern partners. As a psychologist, I want to offer a perspective that moves beyond attributing this pattern solely to external factors like luck or generalized statements about men these days. While these feelings are real, exploring the underlying dynamics offers a more empowering path forward. Your experience or repeated unexpected endings is not a verdict on your worth or simply bad luck, nor is it a proof that men are more difficult. It is, however, compelling signals inviting deep self-exploration. Long-term relationship endings repeatedly point toward recurring dynamics, potentially in partner selection, communication patterns, attachment needs, or conflict management that can be understood and changed. So this is he shared his perspective on a lady who was asking the question, am I unlucky or men are simply difficult? So yeah, you also happen to be an author. Could you share with us kidogo to how you got yourself here to, like, is it something you always do? It's okay.
Okay, thank you. I think I'm so I also I have passion on maybe on relationships. You know, the current the digital era. You know, most of the things that that is the problem. Mostly the problem we face is about relationships. I think you have seen from the statistics we have from gender based violence.
Violence.
We can have the issues about marriage breakups, separations. I got my interest to study about relationships. So that's why I got myself maybe having an interest to write the articles about relationships. And I'm looking in the future, maybe I want to be an expert maybe about relationships because I feel like I think I can make impact. And with my impact, I think can be able to maybe to lower the numbers of separation and divorce and maybe to make people understand how they can live with their relationships. And that's passion. Having that been said, I started for my case, I started reading newspaper a long time ago. I have passion on reading newspaper. You know, it's better you you don't give me food so that you give me newspaper.
A newspaper. Yeah. This is your food.
Yeah, this is my food. Actually, I got a lot of encouragement and inspiring from the newspaper. So the moment I started, that's how I started, and then I ended up being writing articles on every Saturday. It's on Beach 6. You'll get my feedback there about the dilemma.
Every Saturday.
Every Saturday, yes. You get my feedback
on page 6.
On page 6.
On page 6.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. And have you ever been emotionally disconnected?
Emotionally disconnected? Yeah. Yes. You know, what I can just tell you, you know, being human, being emotionally disconnected doesn't mean that you don't get disconnected. That's what is there. It's all about when you are disconnected, are you able to reconnect back? You know, we are human beings. It works like electric circuit. There comes a time it's connected. There comes it's connected. So what is important is all about when do you disconnect? Are you able? How fast are you able to do it to connect? I've told you, like, there comes a time like many things has happened to me. There comes a time maybe I have expectation that my expectation have not been made. There comes a time maybe I feel like I've done a great job maybe for people, and the people end up maybe ravishing what I've done for them. They say that they have not done the best for us. There comes a time maybe there's some of the people who I love the most. Maybe I expected, maybe I was to have relations with them, but they end up sparing me now. It can't happen, right? But that doesn't mean like I was able to sit and then just say, oh, I will still remain there.
Oh, I know.
All right. No, here I'm a guy. When I disconnect, I connect very quickly. Okay. In my life, what I've learned about emotional disconnection from my disconnection is about it's okay to get disconnected. It's okay. But what you need to do is all about how long. The question is all how long are you going to be disconnected? Okay? Because after all, you know, it's like now falling down. Falling down is not an issue. But how long are you going to fall down, to remain there? You know, life, sometimes I do tell people life is like, maybe it's like peeling on onions. There comes a time like you peel onions and then you cry. But doesn't mean that out of that onion you will not make a good soup. Okay?
Yes.
Life is full of challenges. Life is full of some things that can make you to feel disconnected emotionally. But that doesn't mean that it's the end of everything. That doesn't mean it's the end of the life. You can have, what you need also to understand, like these are some of the things that you do. You need to understand the things that you can control. You need to understand that the things that you cannot control. When it comes at times that you are disconnected from, maybe from the people, maybe from the things that they have not gone through your way, just know that those are some of the things that you cannot control. So you just understand, and you beg God to give you wisdom. And those things that I do better, I keep on learning. I keep on achieving. I feel happy that I am, so it makes me to feel connected. Once I don't achieve the goal, obviously I have to look up. I have to run. I have to go. I have to look at another side. I look like, if today, if this one has failed, that's the mean like that side is going to fail. Okay, it means in the terms of relationship. Actually,
Yeah.
I got the. I'm so interested into relationship also, because this generation, the things more so the men and even the ladies, there comes a time like they feel disconnected because they have been rejected. If this person in the world we are millions of people. So if one person is going to reject you, you don't feel like connected. Just mean like there's somebody elsewhere
For you.
for you. So if today there's a person who's going to say no for me, that's the mean tomorrow there's other person who's going to say no, no. If it is something that I was doing a project and it has failed, that's to mean that I'm going to be failed completely now in my life. I have to start afresh. I have to go to my drawing point. Okay? If it's I'm talking about even the way I do my things. There comes a time maybe I want maybe to start a business. I start that business and then it fails. Doesn't mean like I'm going to stop doing business. No. I go and sit down and then I ask myself, what else can I do? What have I learned from my disconnection? What can I do better so that to have what I want? And then that better, when I try it works. I get connected.
Amen.
Yeah.
Yeah. That is well put, and that is. I feel like for the dear viewers, we've really attained what we promised, and that will be a takeaway for today. And in Modern Day Campfire, we do have a culture whereby the latest guest leaves a question for the next guest, and here's the question that Emma Dollar left for you. I will just appreciate if you read it, and then maybe you can give us your feedback.
Maybe
The last question. Yeah.
that's good. If you had a one-on-one session with God, what could be the first question you could ask Him?
Uh-huh.
I think that's a good question.
Yeah.
The one question, maybe if I'm going to, maybe I will meet God, I will ever ask about what made God to understand people, even if we are so disappointing. What made people to maybe to understand people emotionally, even if they get so disconnected from God? How comes that he also, his love is endless? Okay? Maybe I think that's what I will be able to like to know, like, God, we are so disappointing, we get astray from him, but he's so connected to us. That's the question I will ask. I want to know about God. Like how I really wish to understand God is emotional thing. Like that emotion that you don't get hearted easily. That is that emotion, the thing of God, like it doesn't give easily, forgive easily. And it give up easily. That's what I mean. Like that's what I would want to know from God. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you again, Japhet. Like, yeah, you've given me a different perspective on things like delayed gratification, and the fact that you are implementing them as a person. It's like you are making it possible, and also you've changed my perspective on, like, I really had I didn't knew how to, like, any I knew, I had, like, I had a belief that kuna aspect of a wrong journey, but you explaining the concept of patience, positivity, and you believing in the work, and, like, not seeing it as, like, as a wrong thing to do. Yeah, it has given me more perspective, and I guess as I will be watching the video again, I'll be taking a lot from it, and I'm happy again to have you as my guest. And to our dear viewer, thank you for your never ending support. You're a part of the reason we keep on doing what we're doing. I believe they have a question, where can we find Japhet? So maybe you can share with them your social handles, and then I will also post them in my description.
Oh, thank you. Japhet, you can find me. Maybe you can give a call 0711 731 863. In my Facebook, Nyakenyanya Japhet. At TikTok, Dr. Japhet. Also, you can also find me if you want maybe to have a one-on-one with me. I'm around in Nairobi. Location you can get me in Thika or Nairobi. I have office in Thika. Also, you can give me a call. I also have another office in Nairobi CBD. So you can give me a call. You will find me there. Yes.
Yeah. And thank you again. Bye for our viewers. See you next time.
Thank you.
Okay.